ready.
Right, we're here. Episode 4. Four. Episode 4. And we have, it's a Monday morning. It's, the gym is alive. There's people hitting bags and a couple of boys are finishing off their training. But as always with these, time is of an essence. And Reece turned up, ready to talk. So we have Reece Stocker here.
All right.
Yeah, Reece Stocker here, and he's. How do I introduce you, Reece? You've been here from the start.
Pioneer.
And you will know the date of the start because you are like the resident Rain Man of the team's got a good memory.
June 2009.
You know the statistics. If there's anything I need reminding of, or if I need someone's date, or I need someone's fight record, I need someone to know who fought who, you're the guy I come to.
Mm-hmm.
So Reece, without further ado, the question I always open up with, why did you embark on training martial arts or with us or whatever? How did it all begin?
Well, started like every single other person that started on here. Like, well, it pretty much starts exactly the same as Matt Adrian's. I started watching UFC Brawl at the Albert Hall, and I remember watching it by myself on pay-per-view. And James Zikic.
Yeah.
He came in and they said he fought out of Watford. I'm like, fucking hell! I didn't even know that it was around the Hertfordshire area at the time. And I remember going out to my friends the next day and going, here's a geezer from Watford actually doing this MMA. And as I'm telling them on the Sunday morning, I've seen him walk past me in the South Oxley shops. And I went, this is unbelievable. So years went by and I kept talking about wanting to do it. And then someone said it was up in Eastcote. And like you know all too well, back in the day I didn't used to like leaving Watford in case I got nosebleed. Needed a passport, so I thought I ain't going that far. And one day it turned out that they was doing it in the South Oxley Scout Hut. So another time as well, I was out with my mates in Watford drinking, and we started banging on about how we're going to go training, and that was it. It was like, we're going to be cage fighters. And we had this big old chat about it, and then Scott Hunt walked past, and I've gone up to him drunk saying, "Oi Scott, I'm coming training." And he's gone, "All right mate, yeah."
Scott was already training with us?
Scott was already training, yeah. He's before me, yeah. And he's going, "Yeah, okay." And I don't know why you're being a dick about this. I'm telling you I'm coming training. And, I mean, now looking back, I completely understand. Because every time I go out and someone comes up to me going, "Oh, I'm coming training," they never do. No one ever turns up. They tell you this whole story of, yeah, I'm willing to come in. So now I completely understand what Scott was. Cool. So anyway, I thought, no, I'm going to go. So the next Wednesday I turned up just to watch. I remember there was this big, massive bald geezer sitting there. He had a vest top on, big hoopy, like massive guy. And I'll go, "Hello, mate." And he's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Is it all right if I just come and watch?" I went, yeah, if you want, yeah. Little did I know that he was doing the exact same thing. I thought he was the instructor. And then all of a sudden, some geezer, Australian, South African, American, I don't even know where he come from, over and
Maybe
said,
he come from the planet Earth.
Yep. And it was you. And but yeah, I turned out. The first session I just watched. Second session I got involved, and that was with my mate Ben, who wanted to come every week like I did. So we done the first session and loved it. Fell in love with it straight away. This is when we used to train twice a week. So the Friday nights come up. I invited my mate Ben, said, "You come in training," and he's like, "Look, I can't make it tonight, but I'll definitely come next week." And I just remember sitting there thinking to myself at the time, it's like, if I don't go now, I'll never go by myself, and I will always rely on someone else to come with me. So I turned up on that Friday night, and I actually knew someone else there at the time. I didn't know that he was training. So me and him partnered up, and this when it was a Friday night. It's just combat submission wrestling and then sparring. So you said, okay, guys, let's spar now, and I was like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, no, come on. My mate Pallas said to me, he goes, come, we'll just go really light. And it was probably the most pathetic round of sparring you've ever seen in your life. We were so scared of hitting each other. It's like, oh. So that was done, and then I started putting my stuff away, and you've come, where you going? I went, oh, mate, I've had enough, I've got to go out tonight. You know, no, look, let's do a couple more rounds, then go. I went, okay, cool. And then Matt Adrian come over, and I kind of knew Matt Adrian before because he lived in South Oxy, but when I knew him, he was 14 and he looked like a 52-year-old Mexican guy. Now he was like a skinny in shape, well, skinny and in shape again. But
he didn't look so Mexican.
He didn't look like an old Mexican guy anymore. No, he looked like whatever age he was at the time. No, normal fucking guy. But I'm not saying Mexicans are not normal looking guys, by the way. Just when you're 14, you shouldn't look like you're 52.
If you're not Mexican.
Yeah.
Or 52.
Yeah, exactly that. So anyway, I'm sparring with Matt, and I'm going like all scared and light again, and he's just come over and he's overhand righted me and cracked my nose, and he broke my nose on my first ever proper sparring session. But that was probably the best thing that ever happened, because I was like, and I remember chasing him around the gym trying to whack him. And you stopped and go, mate, you can't run away. You're sparring, you can't run away. And I grabbed hold of him, pinned him down, and it's like that was the end of the round. But it was the most exhilarating feeling I've ever had in my life, because I weren't a fighter. I'm still not really a fighter now. The thought of having a fight with someone in the street scares the life out of me. But it was the best feeling I've ever had in my life. And I remember going out, because I went down the pub after, and I met a few of my friends, and my adrenaline was still going through the roof. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to go back. So little while after that, I ended up going out to Benidorm for my friend's stag do. And I won't go into the whole details, but long story short, two guys were having a fight. One's picked up a glass, chucked it at the other, completely missed the guy, and I'm coming off the dance floor, like, dancing, and as I turned my face, the glass hit me in the side, but I turned into it, and so that's why I got a scar here, and it split my eyeball open. And I didn't realise how bad it was at the time, so I ended up staying the whole rest of the week in Benidorm, but I couldn't see properly. So as soon as I got back home, I went to Watford General Hospital, and they're looking at me and they've said, listen, you need to go to Moorfields Eye Hospital now because you're leaking fluids from your eye. And
it was that bad?
It was that bad.
Wow.
Basically, I was going blind. I was slowly losing my eyesight, and I didn't realise. So I went to Moorfields, and the glass had gone in, but luckily come out, but it split straight through the middle. And so this went on for months. I had to keep going back every single day because they was hoping it might seal by itself, but it didn't. So they had to go in and stitch my eyeball back together. So I've literally got a scar going straight through the middle now. And I remember asking the consultant, I said, so what would happen if I got punched in the face? And he looked at me and, well, why would you want to be punched in the face? And I was trying to explain, and he didn't really get it. He goes, listen, if you get punched in the face, your eye will just split open and you'll lose your eyesight in that eye. And I remember, like, when I was in my mum's car coming home, I just broke down into tears. I was like, I felt embarrassed by it, but at the same time, the only reason I was so worried is because I fell in love with MMA, and I just wanted to do it more and more. And I remember telling one of my friends, and he said to me, I said, like, I'm embarrassed. So I started like breaking down because of it. He said, it's like someone's just giving you £1 million, gone, there you go, and then gone, actually, I'm going to take that back though. That's what it felt like. Is I had this whole new thing, and I was never allowed to do it ever again. So for months I couldn't see out my eye. I had to wear an eye patch and stuff. I ended up coming back about 2 months later, but just to do the grappling.
Yeah.
But at the time, grappling wasn't, because it's MMA, just it wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't really do we didn't split it, did we? We didn't do a grappling class. We did everything. So,
yeah.
because we had 1 or 2 nights, right? So we would try and cram it as much as we could on. I think we hit the pads. We did some technique. So the technique might be striking, it might be grappling.
Yeah, I was about to say, even the grappling had striking involved in it.
Yeah.
So it was always MMA. It wasn't really grappling.
But what do you mean? Like, so when you okay, everybody, let's spar. You would just grapple.
So I just
Don't hit me.
I just roll. So I just rolled all the time, but it turned out probably one of the best things that could have happened for me because my ground game got better, and I mean striking. Obviously, I wasn't bothered about at the time anyway. So this went on for months of like not being able to do MMA but just grappling, and then I remember it was my last ever session at Moorfields Eye Hospital, and I was speaking to the consultant, and he said to me, as far as he was concerned, with both eyes as they are, like because one's my right eye I can't see properly out of, but my left eye is fine, but both at the same time I can see, not perfect but good.
Yeah.
And he said, as far as he was concerned, I could fly an aeroplane without glasses. So I asked him, same question. If I, what would happen if I got punched in the face? And he went, well, why would you want to get punched in the face? I explained to him, he said, listen, there's 1 in, say, 3 million chance that your eye would split open. But there is that tiny, tiny percentage that it could happen, so we have to tell you no. I'll leave that with you. So that night I went back to down the gym, sparred, everything, MMA, it was great. Back to it. So, oh my God, it's
back on track.
New lease of life again. So I think it was about 3 weeks later, I sparred with a guy called Dean. I kicked him in the leg and I really hurt my leg. And I remember sitting down, I was squeezing it, I was showing you, I was going, can you hear that? And you could hear this, like this clicking sound. And a guy called Gary come over and he's gone, don't worry about that, mate, my knee makes that noise all the time. And I'm sitting there, and then you come over to me, you know, being the loving coach that you are, and said, stop being such a puss and spar with the kid.
Yeah.
So I've started sparring with this kid who I didn't realise at the time was this Jiu-Jitsu prodigy who's jumping on my back trying to choke me out. And I'm like, mate, you're going to have to let me go on my knees because my leg is killing me. So that night I've left the gym, so, oh, my leg really hurts. I went out to my work Christmas party, and I remember that my whatever girlfriend at the time, she had to go at me because I told her I couldn't give her a piggyback to the cab rank. So she's being really out of order. So I was like, listen, my leg really hurts. So the next day I woke up and it was like one bodybuilder leg and one skinny little leg. And I've gone to the hospital and basically I split my fibula straight off. I kicked the guy in the knee and just broke my leg. It snapped it straight through the middle. And so I've just got back doing MMA again, and all of a sudden I'm out again. And it's like, oh, fucking hell. So for about 3.5 months I was in a cast. As soon as it come off, went back to training again, done hip pads and stuff, and then I signed myself up for an MMA League amateur fight, and I trained for 2 weeks, went and done that, and I won. And it's like, oh.
Well, I think while you was away, obviously everyone's still training and people wanted to fight, and
Yeah.
and you've just popped in after you've nearly lost your eye, tried to smash your leg off, and you've come back in and we're all like, boys are getting ready to go, and you just go, yeah, I'll have it.
Yeah. Well, I remember I signed myself up and you look, what are you doing? No, it's cool.
Just want to have a go.
Yeah, I got in there and I had a go, and lucky enough, I remember as well.
Where was that one?
That was
Paul or somewhere? Or?
It was Paul. Yeah. And I remember going in there, and before we done it, you said, because there was quite a few of us done it back then, and you had us all in a circle and went, listen, if any of you lot get guillotined, don't bother coming back. Right? He was obviously joking, but I went, I ain't getting fucking guillotined.
So that was back then. Was that headshot? No headshots.
No headshot thing. No,
at all.
No headshots. It was body shots. And
body shots, kicking, punching.
Yeah, it's 4-ounce gloves, but it's.
Yeah, it's a grappling match, but with striking.
Yeah.
So most people, the reason why I would said that is most people just running in for the takedown.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. Exactly.
And your arms are down anyway.
Basically,
I've got no way of getting your hands up.
If you don't submit the guy, you're gonna draw.
Yeah.
You have to submit him to win. And every bloke that went there, apart from me and Danny, got guillotined. I went, oh my God! But like before my fight come up, everyone got guillotined.
Everyone was getting guillotined.
And I just went.
Everyone was running into the guillotine.
Yeah. I went, oh my God! I can't have this. But luckily, I remember I got the guy down, and got him from an Americana from the guard, which...
I know that fight. I remember.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't remember things, but I remember that fight vividly
Mm.
because I remember cornering you, thinking, right, here we go. So, and I remember you being in the guy's guard, me at the side going, no, Reece, that's not. Don't do.
Yeah.
Oh, what's he doing? Reece, don't do. All right, good. Oh, well done. What do I know? What do I know?
Yeah.
Okay, he's finished.
It shouldn't have worked, but it did, and yeah, it was a great time.
Perfect.
And yeah, that was back
So
in
that
the
was
days.
your first fight.
That was my first amateur thing.
fight.
Yeah. And then
And when was it? Hang on. So we were still in Scout back then. So
Scout Hut, yeah.
So when would that? What year would that have been?
That was the beginning of 2010.
2010.
Yeah, pretty sure it's in February of 2010.
So had we done a show at the Coliseum by then,
done a
or?
couple of Coliseum
We've done a
shows.
couple.
Yeah, because
Because I'm pretty sure I did the first one of them in 2009.
it would 2009, because before that you done the Rockstar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2009 was KO.
Yeah.
And then we trained, and then I say not much really happened in 2010 after that. I done more of them amateur things, and then
Because I remember everyone was doing a bunch of them.
yeah, we done.
That was all
loads.
that was sort of available. Is that or a pro fight?
I kind of feel. Well, no, because Charlie done the semi-pro.
Oh,
this back in the day,
that's
semi-pro.
okay. I
yeah.
did a couple of shows with them.
What happened was, I think I was lucky enough to sign up around a time where we only really had Shah, Denniston, and Hayden that was fighting pro. All the rest of us, I mean, Charlie and Scott were doing the semi-pro and Carl was doing the semi-pro thing, but I kind of signed up at a time when everyone was exactly the same level.
Yeah.
So everyone's so it was all coming through
all
together.
just starting up.
Yeah, we've all because we'd never really done anything else before. We'd all started at the same time, so we was all at that same level. I mean, don't get me wrong, you need people to better, but at the same time, we was doing these competitions together.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one or two of us. Pretty much the whole team was doing these things, and it's good for all of us because it's kind of felt like if you didn't do it, you was missing out, rather than oh fucking hell, I really shouldn't be doing. Oh, I'm a bit nervous. I mean, everyone's nervous, isn't they? But when you've got the rest of your team there, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, I feel.
Yeah, I remember them. There was a lot of running around, a lot of driving around. I think that's why we did. I mean, you lot were sport when you did your first big fight was or on a show was in Watford.
Yeah. Well, that's when I didn't like travelling about either. So, yeah, because still, I mean, I started training in like the June of 2009, but I didn't really train that much because of everything that was going on.
Yeah.
So technically, I mean, I properly started in 2010, but I was always around in 2009, sitting there and watching, which was pretty boring for me, but it still helped me out. And then, so I didn't really 2010 was my first proper year, and it was a bit weird because I knew obviously know you because you was my coach, but we only see each other twice a week, so we didn't really know each other that well. And I remember you wanted to go back to Thailand, and you just went.
Oh, you come out the second time I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went, does anyone want to come? And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll come. And it was like, it was in 2010 we sorted it out, but it's 2011 we went.
Yeah, it was like March?
No.
Beginning of the year,
it was May.
Oh, really?
Because I had run the marathon.
Oh, that was hilarious, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. You just run the marathon and busted. What did you do? What did you bust?
So what
I
happened
remember seeing the footage of you hobbling across a bridge.
So what happened with the marathon was...
on ITV, no?
So,
or BBC or whatever.
Yeah. So basically what happened was...
Oh, hold tight. But that wasn't your first... What was that footage on BBC or ITV?
Or whatever. On ITV.
But that wasn't your first... Hold
On
tight.
TV.
That wasn't your first TV appearance, Reece.
No.
You're shading over a big part of your life, man. You're big.
Yeah.
Remember, I should have introduced you as a BAFTA award-winning
choir singer,
bro.
Indeed.
Like who put South Oxy
on the map.
On the map.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll go back to choir first. Okay. So, this is before I done MMA. This is when I was like 17 and a half stone as well. Good times. I used to enjoy my life a bit more then. I'm joking. But what happened was there's a TV show that come to South Oxy, and they wanted to make the world's biggest, or I don't know if it's the world's or Europe's biggest choir, from doing it from a local estate where I live in South Oxy, and they got all these people, but they didn't have any men. So they went to a friend of mine called Matty and asked him because he run he was a boxer from the local boxing club, and they was asking him if he could get more men to come down. So he said, I can get some blokes to come, but you're gonna have to give them something. Like, they're not just gonna come to sit. You're gonna have to give them something. So they went, okay, well, tell you what we'll do. If you bring them down to the pub, we'll pay for their bill for the night. So there's about 10 of us went down there, and we started singing in front of the camera, and it was actually pretty good. If you hear it, you can see how much better we got within a couple of hours, like, of him telling us how to sing. It was a good laugh, but the mistake that the BBC had was they told us that they'd pick up our tab. So as soon as they left, we kept the tab open till 3:30 in the morning at our local bar. Don't know. Oh no, it's shut down now, so it won't really matter. But yeah, so the guy who run the choir said he loved the whole idea of the men's choir on the side. So every week for about 3 months, we got a free bar. But I think they done it on purpose. They put it on a Tuesday night so I wouldn't stay out every night. But yeah, I ended up being in the choir, and it was a good laugh. I mean, I wouldn't do it again now, but yeah, I don't really know what else to go into this.
I mean, you can still probably catch that somewhere, no? On like.
Oh no, yeah, it's still on
YouTube.
There's quite a lot of it on
BBC
YouTube.
or somewhere.
Matty's Men, the choir, it's on there.
The choir.
Stiff as anything. But that's when they got us really drunk as well. They I don't think they intended to get us drunk. We got ourselves drunk. But that's when the BBC said to us, meet us down we're gonna go for a curry first, and then we're gonna go and do a bar crawl, and you're gonna sing in all the pubs in South Oxley. It was about 6 or 7 at the time. So they said, meet us at 6, and then we'll go on the pub crawl after. I went, cool. So we met down the curry house at 4:30 before the BBC got there, and we told them to start up a tab. So by the time it got to 6, we was pretty much half cut anyway. And then if you actually watch the footage on YouTube, that's when the guy says, they needed a bit of Dutch courage to do this, but I feel they've had a bit too much Dutch courage. And yeah, we was pretty drunk, but that's when I came out of the famous line, this is the greatest night of my life, which it kind of ruined my life for a little while, because the amount of people that come up to me and took the piss out of me for saying it, yeah, it's just painful. But
no, but what? So I'm really looking at that. You've come from a big, like a contrasting of like social positioning. You know, you've come from like someone who's out drinking and eating and doing side of thing. And now you're trying to bring in some training, for instance. You're training and you want to make a weight, or you got to get fit. And so it's a little bit.
I mean, all my life, my weight was a bit of an issue for me, because I used to be like 17.5 stone. And I got into weights and stuff, but I can't describe it as, I can only describe it as fat muscle kind of thing. You know, when people do weights and they think they're really big and muscly, but I was just fat. I wasn't muscly. I just looked bigger because I was really fat. But I started, as I was saying, when I got into MMA, I wanted to lose weight, but I think it's the only time I've actually ever lost weight was because it was easy to lose weight, because I was doing something I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in, I'm training and doing stuff, and the weight just fell off me. Within like 2 months, I ended up losing 2 stone. But that was without trying. That was just basically training twice a week before we even moved to Harrow, when it became every day.
Yeah.
And lost weight, and just standing in that gym, because it's the hottest place in the world.
It's a great gym.
Yeah, it was a great gym. Yeah.
Very hot.
It was very.
So
hot.
let's go back. So you done the marathon.
Done the marathon.
So how did that come about? Why was you doing the marathon?
Well, what happened was
the London Marathon.
The London Marathon, yeah. So I went for a run one night, and I ran 5 miles. I was like, that was easy. So I looked up to see if I could get a place in the London Marathon. By the way, this was in the February, right? So I'd just gone online and I found a charity that they said that they would put me in the London Marathon. So I was like, oh, quality. So this is just one day of I've done one run of 5 miles, and I thought, well, 26.2, that's got to be easy, isn't it? I mean, fucking hell, I've done 5 miles. So little did I know that running that far, you actually have to really train hard. So I give myself 2 months to get in running shape to do the marathon, and after, I think it was my 3rd run, I'd run 10 miles, and I pulled my IT band. So that was the end of my training for the marathon. Because every time I went to run, it just kept pulling and pulling.
You did 10 miles?
I did 10 miles, yeah. Then I didn't run again until the marathon, and I got to about the 15-mile mark, and then my IT band pulled again, and that's when I was on the TV running across that bridge, hobbling across the bridge. But I managed to finish it. The best thing about it, I remember running or hobbling, and this girl's come up to me. She goes, "You got to keep going. You got to keep going." I'm like, no, yeah, I will. Don't worry. I'm limping because I've got a bad leg. And so she's gone sprinting off. I was like, all right. And then the next, like, about 2 miles later, I see her laying on in the what's it called, first aid tent. She couldn't run anymore. I couldn't go up to her and go, "Come on, you got to keep going." I thought I'd just leave her, but yeah, I managed to finish it. I wouldn't ever do it again. Anyone that wants to do it, don't get me wrong, it's a good laugh, because and that's another thing. So I drank 6 pints on the way round as well. I wouldn't.
Was this before or after the ITB?
Oh no,
the
this is after.
gone.
This is after, yeah. Because before it happened, I was a bit scared, and then after it was like, well, I'm not going to get a good time. I'm not going to really run the rest of it. It took me 6.5 hours in the end. But what happened was I was running around because I'd done it with my dad, and someone gave me a pint outside this pub. So I went, all right. So I drank that, and as I'm walking down the road, I've come under this little bridge, and there was no one there. I've come under the bridge. There's loads of the crowd there. And they're all cheering it. Someone's gone, "He's drinking a beer." And they went, "Yeah." So as I've finished my beer off, I put it down. Someone give me another can out of the crowd. So I went, all right. So yeah, that's how it kept going. I'd just keep drinking a beer, walking around, and then someone else would give me another one. It was a good experience.
So the beer got you round?
The beer got me round until the end. Because as soon as I'd crossed that finish line, everything seemed to just shut down. My legs just stopped working. I was so dehydrated, I just couldn't move, and I had to get my mum and dad to come pick me up from, I don't even know how close they could have got to the actual marathon to pick me up. The closest they could have got, I made them get there to take me home, and then I had to get my dad to help me to put me in the bath, because I just couldn't bend my legs. And then a week later, we went to Thailand.
And a week later,
yeah.
and what we did in Thailand, did I even tell you what we did? Because I've been there before. We were going to the same place.
Nah.
And I don't think I mentioned to you that we're going to train twice a day, morning and evening. Maybe normally what we would do is train twice a day, like morning, evening one day, like 7 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon. And then next day you do 7, then maybe 12, and then the 5. Yeah, so we do 2, 3, 2, 3, and then maybe have Saturday off or Sunday off, something like this, yeah. But I didn't really tell you that before the 7 and before the 5, I did a run around the block.
Yeah.
I did a run around the block, and I remember oh man, I remember you the week before after doing the marathon, he's like hobbling about. I'm like, oh no man, he ain't gonna enjoy this, man. He ain't gonna enjoy this trip.
No, because we flew out at 9 o'clock at night. I don't know if you remember this, and so we slept. Well, because there was the plane was empty, so I slept the whole way to Bangkok. We got off the plane there. We had to wait around for 4 hours, and then it was a flight from Bangkok to Koh Samui. So we ended up getting to Koh Samui at silly o'clock in the morning. I can't remember what the time was, but it's like back home it would have been whatever. So we tried to sleep, that didn't work out. So the next morning, 7 o'clock was it?
Yeah, about 7.
7 o'clock training, I'm up because I'm already awake. I've done that. And then, everyone went for the run. And they told me just to skip. So I ain't ever running again in my life. And then I couldn't skip either, so I just kind of stood around. But that 7 o'clock training, that was my first and last. Because I thought, I ain't getting up this early.
Every day.
I'm on holiday.
Yeah, because we basically gone out there. I was training for a fight, right? And you and Charlie come along. Charlie was kind of might be fighting.
Yeah, Charlie
might be fighting, might not
fight.
Be fighting. So it was a little bit like, I mean, all he really did was just stay in his room, because at the time Charlie would be working night work, right? So during the day, Charlie would be asleep. So
love to sleep.
Unreal.
I've never known a man to sleep. I mean, obviously, as you just said, he worked the nights. But we was in Thailand.
Yes, but the trouble is, what I
day.
found with Charlie is if he weren't working, he was just sort of in catch-up mode to try and get sleep. And I did feel a little bit bad for you. A little bit, not much, but you know. I mean, there was stuff to do, but I never went out in the evening, and you were kind of like, well, I ain't got a fight, and I've just done this marathon, and I'm training a little bit. I mean, because you weren't, it's not that you weren't not training, because you instead of doing the 7 a.m., you'd go do a private every day, right?
I think that worked out better for me, the privates as well, because I didn't really do much striking. Well, I started doing striking again then, but for me to go on a private session was a lot better. What's the word I'm looking for? More beneficial for me was doing the private sessions than doing the actual classes, because there would be loads of people at the classes, and the one-on-one sessions. I mean, I learned a lot from. I can't think of his name now.
Tom, is it Tom or Tom?
Tom or Tom? Yeah, which one? There's two brothers. Look at you trying to pretend you.
I remember this man. I thought you was the. I
can't remember if it's Ton or Tan, but I think it was.
No, Tom was. I think Tom was. I don't know. I think Tom was.
Tom was the trainer.
Look it up.
Tan was the fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, they both fought, but I think Tom was one who won the challenger.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So I trained with him, and it's great experience learning like one-on-one from him, and then I do the evening sessions.
So anyway, I'm cutting there, because obviously you said when you first started MMA, with training with us, you was out, and someone threw a glass that you caught with your face.
Yep.
Then you'd come back and train after that, and try to break your leg.
Yeah.
And then we were out in Thailand, and then you run the marathon and you pop your bloody IT band.
Yep.
So to say you're a little bit accident prone.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's a little understatement, because I remember on the plane you going, listen, I don't want to be getting no like mopeds or anything like that, because you said
bad experience.
Yeah, bad experience in South Africa. You come off one, right?
I was in South Africa for an hour. I come off a moped.
Yeah. So I said to you, don't worry. I said, I'm not interested in that. I ride motorcycle anyway. I said, but I'm not going to get. Last time we was here, we rented a Jeep for the day, and we had a little tour around when we had a day off. Yeah. You can walk everywhere. You can walk everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened? We was there like 2 days. I think Carl Hunt was there, right?
Yeah,
Carl was on the island with his missus, and we're training. I think maybe second day, probably the second day we got there, and then boom, Carl rocks up on his little ped. Beep beep. All right, everybody. Like cool. And he's like, you should get some moped. I'm like, nah. And then the girl from the camp, she's going, oh, I'll get you. Oh, the girl she worked there. I'll get you a couple of mopeds. And I'll just get them delivered, and you just
like £6 a day or something.
No, it wasn't even that. It's like £2 a day. So just give us this. Just give us. You don't need to pay it right now. You just pay this much, or give us. Do you want anything? No. And you were like, I said, hold on. Yeah. I thought you didn't want to get a moped. Well, it'd be all right.
Sick of walking, wouldn't I?
Be all right.
Because Dave didn't tell me that the local shops weren't that local. They was quite a walk.
No, it was just around the corner, wasn't it? It weren't like.
It was. I mean, it weren't that. To be fair, it wasn't that far.
But if you got to walk there, you got to walk back. You got to walk there. It was a little trek.
But to pop round the corner. Yeah.
But if you wanted to, that was all right. If you wanted to just see, if you wanted to see the island, then you had to get a little ped, and we end up getting the motorcycle, the scooters.
Yeah.
And we went out.
Turn the corner.
I said we go out with it, because there's a few things to look at. Waterfall. No, but before that we went to the grandfather and the grandma rock, or whatever it is. There's a rock that looks like a dick, and there's a rock that looks like the vagina, right?
Yeah. Cool picture was made from that.
And we rode round to there. I remember riding round to there. It was literally come out of the camp, up to the top of the street, which was like 100 meters. Do a left, maybe 3-4 minutes down the road. Do a left again. Park up. We went and see the rock, took picture, had a drink, come back, got on the motorcycle. Let's go to the waterfall.
Yeah, I think that was my idea and all.
Left turn.
Yeah. I was a bit overconfident.
Oh.
Took the corner, and I just come off the bike.
I mean, at the time it was super scary, but oh my God, Reece is off. Oh shit.
I've gone straight into the other side of the road.
So I pulled over. I ran over. Oh my God, shit, Reece, you all right? You all right? What? And he's kind of all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Get out of the road, because it weren't like it's not like it's London and people are gonna stop. People. They don't care, man. They just drive around you all sorts.
Listen, the cars. There's so many motorbikes that the cars just kind of drive through the middle of the road. So I'm laying on the floor trying to get myself.
Yeah, everyone's filtering. Like there ain't like a traffic with a car, and then the bikes are filtering. Everybody's filtering, right? So we got you out of the. And I remember, I was like, oh shit! I was like, this is like 3 days in or whatever. And I remember running over to you, helping you get up, and then you was all right, and we're riding off. We're riding off, weren't we? We're riding off, and I just don't know why. I just pissed myself laughing. I had to laugh because it was just like, you've just told me you didn't want to get the moped because you're accident prone. Then you insisted on getting one, and boom, you just come on.
It got better though. It got better because then we went to the waterfall, and there's a big chunk out my ankle, and we've got in the water, and I'm going, is this gonna be alright getting him? So yeah, it'll be fine. So we jumped in the water, and as I'm in this water bobbing up and down, some kids jumped off of fucking...
Did he do a backflip?
Yeah, did a backflip and fucking landed on top of my head. And it's like, it can't get much worse.
Oh, man,
I remember Carl Hunt's missus, he was trying not to laugh. You could see her face like...
Oh, mate.
And then probably that was the worst thing I could have done as well, was jump in that water. I don't think it helped me at all, because I kept trying to patch up my ankle every day to train.
Every day you was...
And it went kind
down
of
to
a
the
yellowy colour.
Oh, mate.
And then when we got home, I went to the hospital again, and funnily enough, it was like the same doctor that I'd seen just before I went to Thailand because of my leg. And he went, all right again, Reece? Like, yeah, how you doing? Yeah. So I've done this, and he's looked at me, and it was like sand. This cut had got around the skin and gone like a yellowy colour because it was all infected. And he's just started really telling me off, saying how I might have to have he didn't even...
you might have a skin graft or something.
He said, I might have to take a bit of skin off your arse to put on your ankle. He didn't even hold back. He's telling me off, and that's exactly how he put it. Luckily, I didn't. They put this iodine patch on it, and it took it all out. But again, though, yeah. It happened to me again.
Lucky Reece.
Boy, yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah, that was kind of funny. I remember, I do distinctively remember.
Yeah. And then it was a little while after that. No, the next year. No, because it's June 19th. So we went in April, and it was June 19th of 2011. We moved to Harrow.
Yeah. Well, again, we covered this a little bit, but the team needed it.
It did, yeah.
We was getting on. We was getting more better fights. We was getting, guys were getting more serious fights.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get Sunil on the couch if we can get him in on a Wednesday. And because it was him that was pushing it. Come on, Dave, you got to. And I was like, well, I don't know. Yeah, and he pushed it, helped me a lot. I helped the team get this little spot in Harrow, right? And then we just pushed on, didn't we?
Well, I think everyone's level changed because of that.
Well, we train every day, didn't we?
Yeah,
it wasn't. I
already,
can't make Wednesday, so I'll have to do Friday.
Yeah.
But well, you can't make Wednesday. Well, I do Tuesday or Thursday. It was every day of the week.
Every single day, and that's when we started doing more jiu-jitsu as well. I mean, I remember thinking. So I had a gi because when we started doing...
We started a little bit of gi.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, but that was like Wednesday we used to do on 5 o'clock. So training used to be 6 till 10, then it became 5 till 10. It was a long old day. And I remember when we moved to what's it called, Harrow, I remember you sat us all down and told us off because you had a jiu-jitsu class going on, but no one was bringing their gi. We all owned a gi, and you sat us all down and said, listen, yeah, you need to bring your fucking gi to jiu-jitsu.
To the gi class.
Yeah.
How about that?
Because we're all kind of sitting there like, we're MMA fighters though, Dave, aren't we? But yeah, so that's when got more into jiu-jitsu because the whole
So
time.
when did you fight at the Coliseum? Was it still at the...
No, that was Harrow.
So you hadn't fought at the Coliseum?
No.
When we was in South Oxford?
No. It was a little... I fought in December of 2011, and that was semi-pro as it was in the...
And we was in Harrow?
Back then, yeah. I was.
So I remember, see now, you being the lucky guy you are.
Yeah.
See, I distinctively remember that fight. Was it that fight where you
bored everyone?
No, that was with the Malachi.
Malachi
right,
fight,
so
yeah.
that fight, yeah. You fought that fight, and because again, like when we used to run the show, we would have 4 or 5 of you on fighting.
Yeah.
I'd be running around making sure there's a problem at the front of the collar. I'll be there. Someone couldn't get in. Someone wanted this. Like there was an issue at the front desk. There was an issue at the bar. It was all going.
There's a lot to do, man.
Loads to do. So warm up everybody. But by this time, I think we'd sort of I've had to sit everyone down. Then I go, listen, guys, I need all of you there to help with the warm up. Yeah. I need you all there to help because I can't do everything. I can't wrap people's hands. I can't I can't warm you all up and corner you
As well as
and
run
run
a
the
show.
show. You know, do this, because I've got a lot to do. Even when I was wrapping people's hands, I've got like the earpiece in. All right, yeah, hold on. You know what I mean? You up in it?
Yeah. I mean, I'd only done them amateur things before. We didn't really warm up, just jump on and go. Where this one, I thought, all right, I better do a proper warm up, because I'd come down from, was it 95, 96 kilos to 77.
But you was
I was meant to
because
fight.
you got that picture in you, like where you were like
Yeah.
17 stone plus,
Yeah.
and
then
now you weigh 77
77.
kilo.
Well, that was I was meant to fight middleweight.
Wasn't that featured in Fighters Only magazine?
Fighters Only magazine. It was, yeah. I was meant to fight a guy called Mustafa Al-Bali.
Oh yeah,
middleweight.
Yeah.
And then we started cutting weight. I mean, I didn't really try too hard because we was in Harrow, and Harrow, the weight just fell off. And then he rung up saying he wants to fight at welterweight. Can you get someone else? And then you said, well, Reece is already at middleweight, so we'll get down to welterweight if you want.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, he pulled out because he had broke his hand. And then I got another opponent who then pulled out straight away. And then I got another opponent who wanted to fight pro only though. And then you went, just fight pro, Reece. I went, yeah, all right. Then he pulled out, so it went back down to semi-pro again. And I was meant to fight another guy who, it was the day before the weigh-in. Turned out he thought that we was fighting at lightweight, so he'd cut weight down to lightweight. So the day of the actual day before the weigh-in, someone else pulled out from the other welterweight fight, and that's why I ended up fighting Malachi Scott. So you just went, oh, cool, you two will fight each other. Can't remember where we was going with this now. Oh, that was it. So anyway,
the warm-up.
Well, that was it. Don't know where that come from. I just put that in there. But yeah, so the warm-up, fucking hell. So I'm doing this warm-up, and I didn't really, after the weigh-in as well, I didn't really know too much about what you're supposed to do. I just went home and had chicken and rice. I ate hardly anything. On the day of the fight, I was like 78 kilos. I didn't put much weight back on. I didn't know that you're supposed to like not shovel food back in, but
well, you didn't really
properly.
Cut a load of weight, did you? Was you in a sauna or anything?
No,
like
I
that?
didn't sauna. I dieted most of it, but I didn't really.
So you didn't really like.
No, I didn't really. I went all the way down to 77, and then Carl made me do a full-on pad session, and I remember sitting down knackered, and I'm going, I can't. He goes, come on, we'll just do 3 more minutes. I'm like, mate,
you're trying to get your second win going.
Yeah, I'm fucked. I remember, like, you're now. So we've done this extra 3 minutes, and then I'm on, and I've come in. I remember, like, my adrenaline's going, because I sold like 125 tickets to that, and I could hear all my mates like screaming their heads off, and I was like, fucking hell, my adrenaline's going. I've gone storming into the cage. As soon as it's in the cage, I'm jumping about, and I went, I'm fucking knackered. Like, this is before the fight even started. Oh my God. I just thought it's just the adrenaline. It turns out, no, I was just literally knackered. And then, yeah, for me, I hate looking back to that fight, because all I did, I kept trying to get him down the whole fight. I just wanted to get the fight to the floor and try and submit him and win. And it was like the last minute of the fight, I managed to get the guy down, got mount, and I was trying to do the mother's milk, because that was the submission at the moment everyone was trying to do. Couldn't get it. And as soon as I went to try and posture up to start throwing down, he escaped, he was in my guard, like literally 20 seconds left, and he whacked me so hard in the face. It's the only time I really got proper clipped in that fight. I went, oh my God, I don't need this. Then the fight was done. Got up, and I remember like you and Carl going, you grabbed me, you went, put your fucking hands in the air. I was like, put your hands in the air. Can't even lift my arms up. So then
no, but I remember you being like,
yeah.
And then I think they might have announced you won.
Yeah, they announced I won.
I dropped to the floor, and I'm like, look at the boy. He's elated.
Yeah.
He's elated. Look, he's well happy. And then I went, right, pat you on the back, and you were still. I remember you still kneeling down. Move. Pat him on the back. Off I went.
And then John Gooden tried to interview me. I couldn't talk, and then I had to get carried out, and I got put on gas and air.
No, they put you in the corridor, right?
They put me in the corridor. They laid me down.
The reason why I want to bring that up, because obviously your history of incidences, but
yeah.
So he's laying in the floor outside with the medic, like gas and air. I mean, I'm laughing. But it was funny. Really. It was funny. The best bit about this is your dad. Yeah, your dad.
Gaz,
he's out there. I come out, and I see him. All right, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right. And he comes in, and gives it to the medic. Is he going to be all right? Is he going to be all right? And they went, yeah, he'll be all right. He's just got bit this, bit that.
It's like a massive adrenaline
Yeah,
dump.
he'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll be fine. Oh, sweet. I was going to watch the rest of the fight. And he just left. I'll never forget that. It's hilarious.
Well, the best part about that, because everyone's like kind of crowded around me, so I've collapsed on the floor. And everyone just kind of left at the same time. And I remember this paramedic guy dragging me along the floor into the changing room, dumping me there. I'm on the floor, and he's on his phone texting. I was like, I feel like I'm dying. No one gives a shit. But yeah, I was all right after that. It's like just a massive adrenaline dump.
Yeah, it's just I've seen it. We've seen it a few times now.
Yeah,
a few times.
I mean, I didn't cry when I had mine,
but yeah, no, there's a few times. Yeah, just the big, massive. You've just finished, like you said, like when you did the marathon, your legs didn't work. It's exactly the same. You have a massive adrenaline dump.
Yeah, I mean,
and
unless
you just can't figure it out a little bit. You know what I mean? You do feel like you're going to die.
Unless you've had one, you won't know what it feels like. At the time, you feel like your world's ending. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you go like, I'm right now.
We just had someone, didn't we, Nick at the amateurs, do the same thing.
Yeah.
And he was laying on the ground. And I've seen it all before, so I was pretty relaxed about it. And I've just said to him, listen, just resist the urge to panic.
Yeah.
You'll be all right in a bit. Just relax.
I mean, it's like when I had my one, and then the paramedics are giving me the gas and stuff. I'm like, that's when I kind of, what the fuck? What was going on? I'm gonna die. They just, they're saying I laid down for a little bit. They give me a Snickers, which I couldn't eat. Like, it's a horrible, horrible feeling, but it goes away. You just need to
ride it out. You just got to ride it out. So
it's like when Martin had ease and he sat himself under the shower.
Oh mate, see, when I had Martin here the other day, and we just chatted about everything but what we was going to do.
Oh,
so I need to get him in, and like that Sweden. I think we did
Sweden.
We mentioned Sweden, but we didn't mention the whole.
No.
Because what you understand with Martin, we're getting back in to tell us a story. He's a little bit nuts before a fight, and then afterwards he was
mate, that was hilarious.
Had a complete adrenal dump, and he's laying there like panicking, and it wouldn't be funny, but he won. Yeah. And it was like, listen, you're gonna have to pull yourself together, bro, because you're going to.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Well, it all started between the rounds, yeah. But I said to him, didn't we? Yeah. Come on, man, we can't go to hospital. It's going to ruin our night.
Yeah. It would have. Yeah. He got himself under that shower, and then about 10 minutes later, he's fine. Yeah. And then we went off and.
Well, we left him, didn't we? Because we left him with the guys that come out with him, and then we go corner Cody McKenzie.
Which that was an experience in itself.
Oh,
I mean, Jesus. That's probably the most craziest man I've ever met in my life. What an experience that was.
But yeah, that's what I mean. That's the again, the reasons I wanted to get everyone on that. And I said to Martin the same thing the other day, where we're trying to get a few of us here to go over the stories, because we're bouncing off each other.
That's it. It's bits you miss and you want to chuck in,
Yeah, but from going from overweight drinker to a professional fighter, like you say, a lot of people, like when you said, oh, when I was 17 stone, I used to enjoy myself better then. But a lot of people like, oh, if you're not going out drinking, you're not doing this, you're not having any fun. But there is a massive social element to the team, isn't there? It's like massive.
I was out the other day, like guys from the team. I know everyone keeps saying it, but it is a family. Yeah. It's like, you know what? I was having a conversation with one of Charlie's mates the other day. I punch Charlie in the face all the time. He punched me in the face all the time. But if one of my friends outside of training punched me in the face, I'd take it really personally. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've been punched in the face by everyone here. But it's just
part of it. Well, we're training, and it's not. No. That's what I mean. It's not a malice thing, is it?
It's not a malice thing. It's weird to think that you've gone out and you've had a fight with these guys every single day, and then but your normal mates, if that kind of happened,
it wouldn't. It'd be a different.
It's a different
thing altogether. Yeah. But I think sometimes it's like, I think we forget what it looks like from outside. Yeah. I mean, we forget because it's very normal. We do it every day. It looks. I mean, you got to understand. It looks when I wander around the gym here, and I see people picking up stuff and putting it on the floor again, picking it up again, putting it on the floor again, and then writing down how many times they did it. And to me, that looks a bit strange. And I'm like, yeah, but what we do looks really strange.
Well,
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
I was saying that as well the other day. It's all a bunch of nerds, really.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, for me, it's not necessarily a fighting or a violent thing. It's a problem solving.
Yeah.
Like problem solving thing. I'm trying to solve an equation that someone's trying to do something to me. I'm going to try and figure out how to stop them and do something back to them, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like well, I know everyone said this is kind of like human chess. You set things up to try and do. So I remember thinking. I remember when I first started, I was rolling with you once, and I see this opportunity like to grab your arm, and I was like, no, wait. That's not. He's not done that by accident. He's setting me up for something here. And I just kept looking at your arm and still like, oh, fuck it, I'll just go for it. And I can't remember what it was. It was like, and I just fell into the trap. And that was kind of one of the moments when I fell in love with the sport even more, because you do stuff to set things up. There's always like, for each move, there's like 5 escapes, and there's always like something different you can do, and it's trying. As I said, it's problem solving, but it's problem solving in an emergency kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're
Pressure,
yeah.
problem solving.
It is, yeah, and there's so many things you got to think about. You got to think about what you're doing with your hands and your feet, like controlling your breathing, because you panic and you're done. That's what I mean. I kind of feel like that's what most chokes are. If you start panicking, it's too late. If you can control your breath, think about where you are, think about where their hands are. You just need to think of how to problem solve it without getting into a panic.
So, just get a bit lunchtime here. People getting a bit busy here. So, it's now you're kind of one of the guys here from the first sort of. I mean, you are one of the first generations of our team. Being there from that day dot, from the creation of the team, you know, and you're probably one of. I mean, well, no, you are the only first generation of the team as a brown belt now at Jiu-Jitsu, right? So you're the only. You've got a few other brown belts here, but they're not from the first generation, so to speak.
I mean,
but you are like you've lent yourself more to the gi.
Yeah.
And so, why has that come sort of about? Why do you think that you've migrated more to the gi than you have sort of the MMA stuff? Or
Not entirely sure. I mean,
not that you're not doing them. You'd still putting rounds on, striking and sparring every week. But you're the only guy from generation one. Even though I say to everybody, most days or most times I see them if they're in, all the generation one guys. Should be brown belts, or all should be brown belts. Some of them have had a year out. Some of them just hardly ever train, even there in the gi. Some of them like train a lot, but they don't put that gi on. So how can I give you the belt? Blah blah blah. But so you're the only one that's kept with the gi.
I don't really know, to be honest. I didn't go into MMA trying to be the grappler. I always wanted, like everyone that watches it from the outside, anyone that's never done MMA, they always. People that don't understand MMA really, they want to be the striker. So everyone wants to do that. So I come in wanting to be a striker like everyone, and then I obviously had the eye accident, started grappling, and then because of that, more grappling than anything else. And then as years went on, I preferred it. I preferred being the ground fighter than the striker. It's like, even now, when I'm doing MMA, I'm always looking to try and get it to the floor. I don't know what it was. I don't know really what made me want to be get more into Jiu-Jitsu than MMA. I just think it's just something that just happened. It wasn't like there wasn't no reason behind it. It's just I liked putting the gi on. And then I think it was when we started going, because we started traveling around doing the gi, going to Portugal, and I think I just fell in love with it more. And not saying that I fell out of love with it doing MMA, because I still do it every day. Well, not every day, but every week I'm doing rounds.
You've still been a part of people's preparation anyway, right?
I mean,
for fight preparation.
I kind of feel like I'm...
And you corner most of the guys. And like I said earlier, if I have any... You're sort of the research guy. If I get a call from whoever, we need a fighter, or we got this guy for the fight, right? I would always send you the name of the fighter to do the research, right?
to know about.
What does he like for breakfast?
Yeah.
You know, where does he go to school? You know, where does he work? Blah, blah, blah. You come back.
Doing the Rain Man bit.
Yeah, you go off and research it all and then bring it back, and then we...
Yeah.
Because we kind of like will oversee most of the fights that take place. So if someone's got an opponent, all right, let's have a look at that guy. How well does he match up with our guy? Blah, blah, blah. So you're the guy that will do most of that research, and then I'll come in and sort of oversee the, okay, that's, you said, tell me, and I'll like, yeah, I'll agree or not, or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I like studying fights. As I was saying earlier, we talk about, for some reason, I can remember people.
So maybe that's why you've migrated more to the gi then, in my original question, because maybe it's because you study, like you want to know the details more. And I think with the gi as well, there's more. I've always seen it when we was transitioning back in the day in Harrow, and we would have some of the guys from the team, like our sister or sister teams, around the country or whatever. When some of those guys who are just trained jiu-jitsu would come in, I would always see like you. So what I would see is you lot would put everything into training. You'd do it, and you'd be tired. You wouldn't stop. You'd do rounds upon rounds upon rounds, and then once training's done, sweet, right, take a shower, let's go eat. Whereas the jiu-jitsu guys wouldn't necessarily put every round in, but they would maybe rest around or, not go crazy or try to push themselves as much in the sparring or training. But then afterwards they'd be asking each other like, oh, how did you get that? And what did you do there? And, how did you do? And so you investigate a little bit more. Whereas I think, not to say that for us, the MMA sort of side of things wasn't that investigative, but it wasn't, you do it on the fly. You do it under pressure and see if it worked, you knew it because it worked. If it didn't, you just throw it away. But I think the jiu-jitsu guys would analyze a little bit more. And like you're saying, if you're into details, then maybe that's why you migrated towards the gi a bit more, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll go with that.
I think that's plausible.
There's just small details saying it's just little things that make a difference. It's like what you said when Dustin teaches compared to, like, say, you could show me a submission and then he could show me it, but he does a little bit of detail, or you show me the same as what he's just done, but you show a little different detail in it, and it just makes sense. I kind of feel like, it's like you're learning these little things that makes the whole difference into a submission. Really noisy in there now.
No, it won't be that noisy. It should be right. But as we are always doing our podcast in a working gym, it does get a little bit noisy. But I like that. And, I mean, maybe we'll progress one day to a little studio. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? But as I like to do with all of the stuff that we do here, progression is key. But you're going to fight soon.
Hopefully.
We want you looking.
Going back.
You're looking to fight
soon,
again. You just had a knee problem, had a little bit of surgery and stuff. So now you're looking to
get back in there again.
Get back in.
I mean, because I fought pro like 6 years ago. Again, that wasn't meant to happen.
Yeah.
I was meant to be fighting semi-pro, but I was meant to fight a guy called Ricky Webster, and he fought on the same TMT show that you and Manton was talking about the other day.
Yeah.
And we had 6 guys win, you and like 5 others. And then that Ricky Webster sent you a message asking if he could come to our gym and train.
Yeah.
And you said, no, because you're fighting my
Reece.
guy on the next KO show in a few months. So he got injured straight after that, conveniently. I'm not saying that's the reason why, but he wanted to train with us, and then it didn't happen. And then Sunil tried to sort out a fight for me, fighting at lightweight instead of welterweight, which I told him I'm not doing that. And then Steve McDonald come in and said, I'll take that fight. And the guy already had a pro record, so I said, okay, well, if I'm going to fight him, I'll fight him at pro instead.
Yeah.
And he'd just fought you, but before that he'd fought Charlie as well.
Yes, so he fought Charlie, fought me, then fought you.
Fought me,
yeah. He's a gamer, man.
He was a gamer, man. And it's like, to be fair with Steve, his record isn't great, but he will fight anyone.
Oh yeah, he'll fight anyone.
He'll fight a UFC veteran, for instance.
He'll fight anyone.
And I remember going in there and you saying, this guy is going to try and knock your head off.
Oh, yeah.
I went, well, I know this. Like, but it kind of worried me a bit. And then we've been studying these fights, and every time he fought, he'd come in and he's going to try and teep you straight in the belly. Charlie was saying to me, as soon as this fight starts, he's going to come over, he's going to try and teep you in the belly. Yep. We had this whole game plan of what I was going to do. The fight starts, and he booted me straight in the gut. Straight away, I went, ugh! And that was it. And then it's like, well, that ain't happening again. So I grabbed hold of Steve, put him down, took his back, and cross-faced him.
Bosh.
And then after
no adrenaline dump.
No adrenaline dump. It was done, dusted. It was like fantastic. And then I remember saying after that interview, I was with John Gooden doing the interview, and he said, so you're pro now, what are your plans? And I said, I want to train a bit more before I have another fight. Little did I know I wanted to train 6 years more before I even...
I recall you said, I think I need a few more. You saw yourself on the poster. And you went, I think I need a few more tattoos.
I did. I was the only person in that poster with no tattoos. So I've gone off, I've covered myself up, and I think
done
that's
a bit of training.
Yeah,
so
I've done a bit of training.
Hopefully in the next few months we'll get you back on the horse, so to speak.
As well, it's going back to the whole injury thing. It's like, I remember Charlie's fighting Adam Bosiv. And
he put something in the program.
Yeah, in the program, he's talking about, I don't know how it come up. He goes, do you want to talk about any of your team, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I think 2016 will be Reece Stocker's year. He's coming back to fight. So January 2016, I've come training. I've got this in my mind thinking, right, going to fight this year. Let's get it all sorted. It was a gi class. I'm going to spar with some guy. I've swept him. I've stood up and my knee just went boom.
Oh yeah, but before this we had another Eric Paulson moment, didn't we?
Eric Paulson wonder, because we had a seminar of Eric Paulson and we were talking about knee bars and leg locks.
No one can knee bar me.
And his knee barring, like Dave was knee barring me in front of the class, and I weren't tapping. I was just like whatever, just letting it go. And then everyone else is trying to have a go at it. I just can't feel it. And Eric said, no, that's cool, man. Some people just can't feel it. But one day, your knee's just going to explode. Like, I didn't really think much of it. Little did I know, I wouldn't really be doing anything bad and my knee would just explode. It's what had happened, I'd elongated my ACL and it trapped my meniscus and it kept getting stuck. So I'd come training and my leg just kept popping constantly. So 2016 was a write-off. I got my operation November of 2016. So 2017, I didn't, most of the year, I was training. I was still, if I wasn't training, I was watching, but I was still training all the time. Yeah. Just couldn't really
rehab your knee.
Rehab my knee. And then most of this year, it's the same again. So then we started looking into getting me a fight. And then 2 weeks, no, longer than that, about, say a month and a half ago, when we were looking into getting a fight again, my knee gave way again. But man, it's getting better, and either the end of this year or beginning of next year, I want to get back in there and fight again.
Have a go.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave it on
Dukes
that.
up.
Let's leave it on the Dukes up. And I don't suppose that we've covered what we wanted to cover.
No, probably not. It's one of those things. As soon as I had a lot to say.
Yeah, but we've got part 2s and 3s.
I was about to say, because as soon as I've sat down,
I'm getting hungry and I think I need a wee.
Cool.
So rather than do that on camera, we will endeavour to get you back in, and
I'll finish off with my rendition of "I Will Survive."
Right. Thank you very much, Reece,
Thank
and
you very
we'll
much.
see you soon. And bosh, that's the end of that one.
Bosh. Us.